Hey guys, what is going on? It is Dunbar Snack Bar here. Time with some Chris Rose. This was going to go up yesterday, but I gave myself heat exhaustion. Well, I didn't really give it to myself. I mean, it's not like you can really give yourself heat exhaustion, but I allowed it to take place. So what happened is, you guys know that I recently bought a house. It's 10 years old. It's not that bad, but the deck on the outside was never treated at all when the guy put the deck up, because he had the house built for him. And it's a big deck. I love it and everything, but he never treated it. So even though it's 10 years old, it's all gross and gray, a lot of mildew and stuff growing on it. In me, nuh-uh. I'm going to be using that quite a bit to be grilling, and I want it to be in really, really good shape. So I told my wife, the big projects we're going to have around the house is painting, which I have done, thankfully, and then also to go ahead and do the deck. Now, because the deck was so old and so gross, it wasn't something where I could just go through and get some deck cleaner. Well, I felt I couldn't go through and get some deck cleaner, clean it off, and then just be happy with it. So there was a lot of, I shouldn't say a lot, but there was some warping, and there were a lot of places where you could get splinters. So I went and I bought an orbital sander, and I spent basically all Saturday. I took the day off of work. I spent all Saturday with my time off, like 8 hours worth, outside in over 100-degree temperatures, sanding down the entire deck with my orbital sander. Now, I did a lot of work because instead of going from gray, my neighbor asked me if I had put new wood up on the deck, like if I was building a new deck, basically. So it does a lot of good work, but now, for the next step here, for me to go ahead and clean everything off, I really can't do that right now because the power washer that we're using, it uses a different kind of outlet, and it's kind of hard to describe it, but because not everybody is too familiar, but it's a plug called a 520R. Basically, what it is when you think of the plugs, and I know for those of you who are in other countries, this is not going to make any sense to you guys, because everywhere you go in the world, it seems like you've got different plugs for everything in different outlets. But anyway, so here, you guys know you got your traditional up and down type of plugs. Then you got your circular ground wire at the bottom here. But with the one that we're using, or the one that's on the end of the power washer, you've got one which is up and down like normal, and then you got one on its side. So it's like you got one vertical and you got one horizontal. And I don't have any outlet in my house that's compatible with it, because it's 20 volts is that type of outlet, and almost all of the outlets in my house are 15 volts. So what I did is I called one of my friends who is super, super good with working with his hands and house stuff and everything, and he told me to go out and check my circuit breaker. So I go ahead and I do that, and I find that I do have a couple 20-volt outlets, but we've got the 15-volt inputs in there. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to swap out some of the electrical outlets here. Maybe I'll just do one, and then I'll be happy with that, because then I can just run an extension cord through the kitchen to the outside. That won't be a problem at all, but it just means there's more I've got to do. And today I was going to go ahead and do that, but it didn't work out that way. Had a lot of stuff going on. We had some people over, and I think we're going to have some people over again next Sunday as well. So, I don't know. But, yeah, once I said I was going to go ahead and do some videos, I sat down, and I was just super nauseous, and I had a migraine. And I'm like, I don't want to do this tonight. And I know you guys understand, but I was able to get through today here, because, I feel better today. Like, I woke up this morning, and it was like night and day. I was just sitting there, like, I remember even checking. I'm like, do I feel better? And I do. So I went throughout the day here. Not a problem at all. Now I can go ahead and do videos for you guys. But anyway, not that you guys really cared, but if you guys saw my Twitter, you guys saw I almost ruined my Tigers hat because of all of the dust that was being kicked up from sanding. I took a picture before I started working, and then I'm going to show you guys an after, because as soon as I get it cleaned off, then I'm going to go ahead and put on some stain. We're going to make it look pretty nice here, because, like I said, this is going to be something where I'm going to be doing a lot of barbecuing, out on the deck. I don't know. I've always loved having a deck. Like when I was growing up, like going out on the deck always meant, hey, it's time to go outside and play. And now that I have a kid on the way, I kind of want my child to have the same thing. So, I don't know. Now the thing is the stain is only going to last 4 years. Now for us in Nebraska, since we have some pretty weird weather, it's probably going to only last 2 or 3. So I might be doing this here in a couple years again, but that's okay. I could have, because there's different types of stain you guys can get for a deck. It's almost like a solid color that you can go ahead and just put on there, and that lasts a long time, like up to 10 years. And then you got semi-transparent, which is what I have, and that lasts about 4 years. And then you could get transparent, which is 2 years. So I don't want to be applying a finish every year or two. So I decided to go semi-transparent here to make my wife happy here, because with semi-transparent you can still see the grain in the wood a little bit, but it's not, I mean, you know, you still have color to it. So we've got like a little brownish type of color. It's called Tugboat. Those of you who care, which is probably not that many of you, but it's going to be kind of fun doing this. And my wife's been like super proud of me with all the work that I've been doing around the house. I've been painting on my days off. Then last week I went ahead and I cleared out all of the weeds on the side of the house, because the guy who owned the house before us, he had this patch of ground just right by the house where there was nothing at all. And a lot of weeds that started growing in there that were about probably 3 feet tall. So I went and I take a pickaxe, once again, in 100-degree weather, and then I just go through and I clear it out. So that took a while. I went under the deck and I killed some weeds down there. I got more I have to do, though, because whenever you're going after weeds, it seems like you got to go with more than one attempt. But anyway, my wife's been super proud of me, and that's really all that matters in my eyes, is that my wife is proud of me. I'm happy about that. So I feel like a man because of all this work that I've been doing, but I'm sorry that it took me away from you guys here for a couple days. I felt kind of bad afterwards with the whole migraine and everything, but those of you who've gotten migraines, you know it's just absolutely terrible. You do not want to do anything. You just want to go lay down, and that's what I did, and I went to sleep. I didn't want to stare at a computer or anything like that either, so it's all right. So thank you guys for understanding. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. But here I am. I'm going to have 3 videos going up today. We'll see if I'll be able to get some up tomorrow too, which I'll kind of go in the next video, which is Timmy Timmons, of course. I'll kind of let you guys know why it might not be, or I might not be posting tomorrow. And I feel kind of bad because I get into the house, then the internet stops working. It works for a few hours, and then it cuts out. And I found a little secret to get it going. I had to unplug the coaxial cable from the modem, and then go ahead and plug in, and that would last for about an hour, and then it would stop. So once I got that figured out, I was like, all right, well, there's something I can do here to get it going, but it just got super frustrating because I couldn't upload a YouTube video in a half hour's time. And so I'd have to come back and try to go through it again, and there are errors with the network. At least that's what YouTube was saying, and it wouldn't let me go ahead and finish the video. So I got something sporadically, just not what I normally like to have. So I should be back on track here pretty soon. And I need to get caught up on the franchise and everything. And I got to do 30 wins with 30 teams. I got to keep that going. But Chris Rose getting destroyed here towards the end of the game. Had a pretty solid first part of the game. Once we got into the 6th inning, though, that's when we started seeing some hits here. And I'm surprised they kept me in the 7th. I'm even more surprised that they leave me in here in the 8th, because on the first pitch for the last few, gosh, I don't know how many hitters, they've just gotten hits off of it. Well, why don't you take me out? All right, sure, you take me out now. You get 5 earned runs. Man, not cool at all. But anyway, I'm posting every game, not just the good ones like I am with Timmy Timmons. But I appreciate you guys watching. Like I said, Timmy Timmons coming up next. So thank you guys again for watching. And as always, I hope you have a good one.